This is writing and solving inequalities in context, which is very similar to the last one that we just did. It's just that you're going to have to set these ones up as an inequality based on the information that you read rather than an equation. Remember, an equation is an equals. An inequality has a less than, a greater than, less than or equal to, or greater than or equal to. So it's going to end up having one of those symbols in it. So under his cell phone plan, Ethan pays a flat cost of $59 per month and $5 per gigabyte. Now this one could end up being a little bit confusing. I'm going to finish reading it and then I'm going to explain. So he wants to keep his bill under $70 per month. Write and solve an inequality which can be used to determine X, the number of gigabytes Ethan can use while staying within his budget. So do you see how it says X, the number of gigabytes? So since we're talking about his budget, that's each month. So since it says $59 per month, we're not going to put X for month because X represents the number of gigabytes. This is just each month. So every time he pays his bill, he's always going to pay $59 and then he's going to pay $5 per gigabyte. So since X is the number of gigabytes, we're going to write 5X. So I just wanted to clarify that. So a lot of people will get confused when it says per month and then per gigabyte. But since it says X is the number of gigabytes and we're doing our budget for each month, we just pay this one time. So you're going to pay the $59 once. And then plus he has to pay an additional $5 for every gigabyte, which is X. And then it says he wants to keep his bill under 70. So we have to say less than 70. 70 is the most that he wants to pay. So we have to keep it under $70. So that's how you would write your inequality. So you would say 59 plus 5X has to be less than $70 each month. So that's each month when we're talking about this. Okay, now we're going to have our inequality or have our final answer. So we want to know how many gigabytes can he use each month to keep that under. So now that we have this inequality set up, we know that we have to subtract off the 59 that he has to pay each month at the beginning of each month. So we would have 5X is less than 70 minus 59 is 11. And then we have $5 per each gigabyte. So we need to divide by 5 and divide by 5. So then X has to be less than whatever 11 divided by 5 is. So 11 divided by 5 is 2.2. And don't judge me that I do all of my math in my calculator, because sometimes when I'm in these videos, I will make a mistake and I don't realize it. And then somebody later on is like, hey, you subtracted wrong or whatever. So I use my calculator. Don't judge me. So you would say X is less than 2.2. So he has to use less than 2.2 gigabytes. He couldn't use 3. He couldn't use 2.5 gigabytes. He could only use less than 2.2. So that's how you would write an inequality for this, because it says that he wants to stay under that amount. And so that's why we say less than. Okay, let's do this next problem. Trying to get it set up, sorry. Okay, so Lincoln has a points card for a movie theater. So this is kind of like the second one we did on that last video or last practice. So it says Lincoln has a points card for a movie theater. He receives 25 points just for signing up, he earns 12.5 points for each visit to the movie theater. He needs at least 170 points for a free movie ticket. So notice the only difference between that statement and the one that we did here is he needs 100 points. So it was saying like he needs exactly 100 points for a free movie ticket. So we wanted to know when exactly he did. This one, he needs at least 170. So it's that one little piece right there that where my cursor is at whenever I took the screenshot, but at least 170 points. So that's the word that we're looking at. So write and solve an inequality which can be used to determine X, the number of visits Lincoln can make to earn his first free movie ticket. So again, X is for the number of visits. So you're going to look at where it says points for each visit, and that's going to be our X value. So he receives 25 when he signs up, plus he gets an additional 12.5 per visit, and he needs at least, so the number of visits has to be greater than or equal to, because anytime it says at least, that means that number is the smallest part, because he could have exactly 170 points and he would be able to get his free movie. So he needs at least, which includes 170, and so it's greater than or equal to 170. So down here you would say 25 plus 12.5x is greater than or equal to 170. And sorry, my screenshot cut off a little bit, but that's okay. All right, now again, we're going to solve. You've got to take off the 25 that he earns to begin with. So we have 12.5x greater than or equal to. So we have 170 minus 25. So we have 145 left by just doing the tickets part, or the, per visit part. So 12.5, 12.5. So X means 145 divided by 12.5. So he needs to go at least 11.6 times. I'm pretty sure that he probably can't go 11.6 times exactly, so he would have to go more than that. So probably on his 12th visit he will get it. Okay, so again, you have to write your inequality, and we know it's an inequality because it has the word at least. This one had the word under, so we had to write it as an inequality, and that would give us our inequality to solve to figure out how many points we needed.